I'm Jason, and this is the presentation on Leo and the solar self. And I thought it might be useful just to give a little bit of a framing of the work that I'm going to be presenting. It's drawn from my experience as an astrologer for the last 25 years or so, and also more specifically the last 10 years or so working with people in relatively intensive long-term psychotherapy. And so over the last few years, I've kind of been really exploring particularly the use of myth and with astrology and psychotherapy. And so this is kind of a deep dive on just the Leo archetype from that point of view. And I thought a good place to start, because I highlighted this word narcissism in the should say that that's not a diagnostic word in this particular situation. So I'm not talking about a personality issue disorder necessarily, more like a process. And so I think astrology gives us a really potent way to think about personality process and personality as a process and not as a thing or a structure. And so I'm going to go to the next slide here. So this is just maybe a bit of a framing for how I'm sort of looking at the Leo archetype, sort of zooming out a little, and then we'll kind of double click into Leo itself. And that's by understanding what, asking this question, what is personality? What is character structure? And the way that I look at it is that the second quadrant in the chart, the quadrant between, you can see here, let's see, I think I can do that, right? Yeah, you can see here from the nadir to the descendant, that this quadrant is really about the development of personality and about the elaboration of a personality. And personality can therefore be seen as a kind of bridge that goes between the nadir, so that place that is most inward, that place that is our most sort of deepest place, usually quite unconscious place, sort of has a primal quality, and then it sort of takes us to the descendant, which is the world of others. And so if we were to define personality this way, we might say the personality is a set of processes by which we relate inner realities and the world of others. And that's what it is. So that personality isn't something you are, it's something you do. It's a set of processes that are often iterated again and again and again so that they begin to feel like structures. But in fact are actually just, it's like a verb that's been done over and over again, and it becomes tempting to call it a noun like narcissist or neurotic or whatever the person you might want to say. But really it's a set of processes and ways of mediating the experience that we have inside ourselves. How do I bring this deep inner self, soul, spirit, whatever that might be, into relationship with others? And this is why, from my point of view, it makes a lot of sense that the rulers of the fourth and the fifth, the moon and the sun, are usually what people talk about as their personality. Mercury is sort of less so used that way, and that's another subject to be taken up, I think, at some point. But moon and sun, certainly that's been what astrologers have talked about as key to personality for a long, long time. But I think this sort of locates it as why are they that, right? They're part of a process, part of a movement in consciousness that seeks to connect this inner world with the world around us. And I've sort of labeled these outside there. You'll see with Cancer and the fourth house and the moon as more primal because it's closer to the nadir, right? That area is closer to that zone. Then further up, the Virgo energy is closer to the descendant, so it's getting ready, right? It's almost at the point of relating to others, and so it's more adaptive, but potentially also neurotic because of sort of internalizing the standards that one believes the world will have.